This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. And by Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank is always ready to lend a hand in the communities that they serve. Log on to MidwestBank.com to find out more.
Well, we're still about a week away from fall, but if you're here in Columbus, Nebraska at Pawnee Park, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between summer and fall tonight. It is a beautiful evening here in Nebraska, ready for a fun Class C1 battle tonight at Pawnee Park. My name is Kalen Devin here with Andrew Pfeiffer on News Channel Nebraska. The Scotus Shamrocks 2-1 on the season, hosting the West Point-Beemer Cadets, also 2-1 on the year. Andrew, we're looking in for a really fun matchup.
Hey, and look, you might expect to see something different from last night because keep in mind, yes, both teams are 2-1, but the last time that they met last season, it did not end well for West Point-Beemer as they were shut out, 0-49. But when I did talk to Coach Ellis, he said he wanted a different approach tonight when it came to their new defensive and offensive packages. So the second-year head coach is going to have his hands full with this Scotus team.
Right, second year for Coach Ellis, so he's got a year under his belt already. Scotus, the Shamrocks, are also a perennial powerhouse when it comes to Class C1 football, while West Point-Beemer's trying to get their footing. Both teams are very young, and the Cadets are trying to get a big win on the road and improve their record to 3-1. Andrew, we'll talk about who some of those players for both the Cadets and the Shamrocks will help lead those teams. It's coming up next on News Channel Nebraska.
Foot 10-inch, 170-pound junior.
So some of our key players tonight on News Channel Nebraska. Thanks for tuning in again here in Columbus. We'll start with the Scotus Shamrocks. They've got a bunch of guys who can carry the football and make some magic happen in the backfield. They're a power run team, really going to be focusing on number 2, Luke Wemhoff. He is a key player tonight to help make some explosive plays.
Absolutely. We take a look at his first 2 games, 156 yards with 2 touchdowns. They didn't actually post his stats from last week, but that's what we were able to get the first 2. He is the absolute workhorse of this offense, so he's going to be the key player that they're going to hand the rock to most of the game.
We could see a lot of running the football, and on the other side for West Point, the Cadets have a guy who has been in the offense for a while. West Point-Beemer loves Trevin Weddle. He's a key player.
Absolutely. Weddle, he's all over the place. He flies around. He's a key player. Makes a lot of impact plays for this team. He's going to be one of the reasons why this game isn't going to have the results as last year, and it's going to be a close one.
We've got the matchup coming your way on News Channel Nebraska. Scotus Shamrocks, West Point-Beemer Cadets. It's coming up next. Well, look at that beautiful sun. It's a gorgeous day today in Columbus, Nebraska at Pawnee Park for our Class C1 battle. Today on News Channel Nebraska, the Scotus Shamrocks hosting the West Point-Beemer Cadets. Both teams 2-1 on the year. I'm Kalen Devin along with Andrew Pfeiffer here today on NCN. Should be a fun matchup today in Columbus.
Yeah, absolutely a fun matchup to say the least. I want to take a look at what happened last year when these teams met. I believe it was a West Point-Beemer game had their home. Scotus came to their territory and absolutely pummeled this West Point team 49-0. But don't expect a similar result tonight. I think this team looks different. They have a different offensive scheme. They're different defensively. And there's a couple key players that are going to be the key reason why we're not going to see a similar result from last year.
And we're excited for that. First of all, let's take a look at our school spotlight brought to you by Currency, where if you need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers, all you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. West Point and Beemer, 2 different towns. They are consolidated, nearly 4,000 people combined in Cumming County, about 175 students. They are the Cadets, and they got a pretty sick logo, too. Now, Scotus very, very strong athletic program and academically here in Columbus. 24,000 students in Platte County, only 188 students here in the school. They are the Shamrocks. The Shamrocks always put a good product on the football field. As we know with Coach Tyler Linder, he's been around this program now for 13 years. He's been the head coach for 10 seasons and won a state championship back in 2015, his second year, trying to find that success again. And with a 2-1 start, they're looking to improve to 3-1.
And taking a look at the Shamrocks' previous 3 weeks, the week 1, they went and beat David City Aquinas at home. But that score, it might shock you. It was only 3-0.
A 3-0 battle is as a defensive slugfest, but when talking to Coach Linder, he said that is a classic Scotus-Aquinas rivalry. And it's a fun one.
Absolutely, and taking a look at literally all their games, all of them have been won or decided by within a score. Going into week 2, they lost to Pierce 28-20, and then in week 3, coming off of last week, beat St. Paul 22-20. So they've found some ways to win. All these games have been relatively close, and some have worked in their favor and some haven't. But when it comes to this West Point team, they have the confidence knowing, hey, we pummeled these guys last year. We have the opportunity to come out and just have ourselves a day, and the pressure is off if you are this Scotus team.
It's going to start for the Cadets defense with a couple key guys on the inside, Trevin Weddle, Angel Perez at linebacker, Juan Lemus, and a couple other players that can really make a big impact, while the offensive squad for the Cadets led by junior Connor Troyer. He has been the quarterback for 2 straight years now. While for Scotus, a couple guys on the key linebackers, Max Wemhoff, Frank Feringer, Eli Kreikemeyer, and Spencer Shotkowski, kind of your guys to watch there on the interior side for their secondary, while Scotus offense led by junior Cohen Pellin. He takes the reins this season and looks to lead the Shamrocks to a big victory. West Point-Beemer enters the field as we are preparing for the Star-Spangled Banner, and with that, we'll return in this Class C1 battle. Shamrocks Cadets, your way next on News Channel Nebraska.
It's never been easier to get rewarded for using my debit card at Midwest Bank. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and with my rewards checking account, I get rewarded for the simple things. Each time I swipe my debit card getting gas or picking up groceries. With Midwest Bank, it's not about how much money I have in my account. I get rewarded for just using my debit card at all my favorite places. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
The Heart and Vascular team at Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute has spent the last 22 years focused on providing the highest level of heart care possible. With over 24,000 patients seen in the last 2 years alone, we know cardiac care by heart. Today, we offer the most advanced practices and technology to patients in 11 local communities, ensuring easier access to cardiology services. With specialists focusing on heart failure, vascular diseases, thoracic surgery, abnormal heart rhythms, and general cardiology, you can count on our heart experts to collaborate to provide you with the best care possible. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute, keeping a pulse on the hearts of Nebraska for over 2 decades, is the Faith difference.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Anything for the floor. O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
News Channel Nebraska awaiting kickoff between the Scotus Shamrocks and the West Point-Beemer Cadets. I'm Kalen Devin along with Andrew Pfeiffer. We've talked a little bit about last season now, Andrew. Scotus got a big 49-0 win on the road against West Point-Beemer. It is their second straight win, and Scotus is 3-2 in the last 5 matchups. Last time the Cadets were able to take down the Shamrocks was September 25th in 2020. And that was also the last time the Cadets were both over 500 and made the playoffs.
And definitely a different team, especially not only from that year, but last year as well. I mean, they only went 2-7 last season, and they didn't even have the opportunity to make the playoffs. And here you have a Scotus team that has had a respectable record and was able to make the first round of the playoffs before dropping to Aurora in that first round. So both of these teams have very different visions, very different backgrounds, and because of the past season, I mean, that game may not even matter anymore. We're here now, we're here tonight, and we're ready for kickoff.
It should be a fun one. The Scotus Shamrocks and the West Point-Beemer Cadets in Columbus at Pawnee Park. We thank you for tuning in on News Channel Nebraska. This season, West Point-Beemer coming off back-to-back wins, 31-0 over Arlington, and a 49-40 shootout over a talented Boys Town team. Meanwhile, a little bit of a different look for Scotus. 3 games, all one score, won 2 of them thanks to the leg of Frank Farringer on game-winning field goals. Here's the return for the Shamrocks. A nice lane and just getting tripped up across the 40-yard line. And that is a beautiful return.
He had it, just the turf monster came up and grabbed him. You have to admire that blocking scheme on Scotus's return. It almost seems like they all got within like a 10-yard cluster, and they just said, hey, I got the ball, now all 10 of the rest of the guys just run ahead full speed.
And that's Luke Wemhoff, one of our key players. We mentioned those explosive plays. He gets the football a lot. 32 carries on the season, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's also a threat through the air. Pellin hands it off right up the middle. Nice short gain. And that's Evan Keene on the carry, his 40th carry of the season for a gain of 5.
Nothing too complicated, just a simple fullback give. Exactly what you want to do if you're Scotus. Established that ground game early, worked out in the first play, good 5-yard pickup.
I know both teams love the power run, but that's something that Scotus is so excellent at, and they have multiple key players in the backfield that can get it done. Here's Wemhoff on the reverse. He gets a few tumbling forward to about the 50-yard line, and he is just 1 yard shy of that first down.
And I was just going to say, Kalen, that was a good cutoff from Wemhoff. It kind of looked like it was going to be originally designed fullback give, but a nice fake, a good sell on the end around, and he found the cutback lane and now makes it 3rd and short.
Pellin, the junior quarterback, he's under center. Man in motion, and it's a keeper for Pellin. He runs into a wall, but his offensive line pushes him forward, and it's first down for Scotus.
Just one of those simple midline plays, had the first read off the fullback, decided to pull it himself, and what you do on those midline plays, after the read and you give it to that fullback, you can give or fake, and when you do decide to fake, you just tuck the ball in, follow your fullback up the hole, pick up the short yardage, exactly what he did there.
I mean, really good pressure from Max Peterson and Nate Vandergren, but they were not able to get quite through there and stop Pellin. Here's another carry right up the middle. Short and sweet, and this is something that Coach Linder talked about. If they can move the football against this front four for West Point-Beemer, the Shamrocks will be in business all night.
And you can tell right away, these Shamrocks do not go down easy immediately after contact. They're at least dragging people 3 or 4 yards after initial hit.
Pellin under center. Keene right behind him. Cadets showing blitz, and they do. Pellin looks to throw quickly, too tall for his receiver on the far sideline. Jackson Hang, incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little miscommunication in the backfield there. There was a little bit of scrambling around, players trying to figure out their routes, and that didn't give him the time to get the ball off. You can see here, just wasn't able to get it off when he wanted and just threw it a little too high.
Cohen Pellin on this season, 171 passing yards. He's got a touchdown pass, also 3 interceptions. And he does like to run the football too. Under center, Pellin on 3rd down. Again, the Cadets showing blitz. Pellin audibles toward the near sideline. Big play early in the football game. 9:48 on the first quarter clock. Pellin man in motion. He rolls out, pitches it out. The ball is picked up and not quite a first down, but still a good carry for Scotus, who tried to pick his way toward the marker and just about 3 yards shy.
And a break for Scotus, especially, you know, it's 3rd down and distance. He came off that option pitch and bobbled it initially, but was able to retain control. And, you know, they caught a break there.
4th down and 2. And I think we'll see the offense on the field.
No reason to punt when you've been doing well on the ground so far, picking up those short yardage plays. I think they're going to be looking at the fullback here.
Keene in the backfield. Under center is Pellin. And timeout called by Coach Linder and the Scotus Shamrocks. No score early in our football game as West Point-Beemer and Scotus, a big 4th down and short coming up.
It's not about the hours, it's not about the acres. It's about the legacy, passed from one generation to the next. At Madison County Bank, we see your farming operation as a legacy, as a successful business, as a crucial part of the world's well-being. For over 130 years, Madison County Bank has stood beside farmers and ranchers in Northeast Nebraska. We have been and always will be here to help you grow. Madison County Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
First quarter today brought to you by John Henry's, our family serving yours. And a big 4th down and short coming up for the Shamrocks. Early in this football game, they've ran the ball almost every time. One pass play to Jackson Hang, a little too high for the senior wide receiver. And incomplete. It's 4th down and short on the 39. Scotus hurries to the football to the line of scrimmage. Handoff right away, and Keene got close. He gets the first down and moves the chains.
Just like I said, they're going to be looking at that fullback. Just a simple trap play, 1 step to your left, pursuit to the right. Good delivery from the fullback, good carry, picks up the first down.
Evan Keene, 5'10", 185 senior. He gets the football quite a bit. And you can see why. He's really good at picking his way through that defense. Shamrocks, here's Pellin looking to throw deep. It is incomplete, just slips through the paws of Max Wemhoff. Really nice target for Cohen Pellin.
And Max Wemhoff had the route too. He had the outside shoulder, and like you said, a very good target. He had him just right there, just was unable to. It was a good contested ball, but if he would have went up a little bit higher and just had control, he might have would have made that catch.
I mean, it was a beautiful opportunity, a really nice play call. As Wemhoff, he's been a key player all season long, 3 catches, 83 yards, really good blocker, but also a really nice pass catcher. And one of the first things I noticed, he doesn't have any gloves on like most people today. Double handoff, and it's up the middle, short gain for Spencer Scotus.
Showing a little bit of trickery from the Scotus side on the quick little inside reverse. Picks up a good gain of 4, and now it's 3rd and manageable.
4-yard gain, 3rd down from the 32-yard line. Slow and steady wins the race. And if you're Scotus, you like having 3rd and manageable. This isn't maybe exactly where you'd want to be for 3rd down, but if you can get a few more yards and set yourself up for 4th and short, That's all right. Penland looks to throw. Caught by Wemhoff. Beautiful snag at the 15-yard line and falls down to the 13. Make it the 12.
And there's the connection they've been looking for. After the miscue on that previous play, he finds his man through the air. Take a look at this beautiful throw just right over the middle of coverage. Wemhoff pulls in a great ball, gets first down.
Gain of 20 yards for Scotus inside the 12-yard line. Penland under center. Hands it off. It's Luke Wemhoff. He's picking his way toward the 5-yard line and marked down at about the 6. It's a gain of 6 and brings up second down.
And how about that? That's all you can do when you're in the red zone right now if you're Scotus, or all you should do, really. If you've been having success on the ground, just slowly melting the clock away, taking chunk by chunk of the field, that's the same exact plan when you get in the red zone.
I think Coach Linder's really happy with this program, the way they can run the football and set up the pass in big third down situations. Here's 2nd and 4 from the 6. Shotkowski in motion. He takes the pitch. Spencer Shotkowski down at the 5, maybe got a yard up to about the 4. And this brings up 3rd and short.
Interesting approach on the outside pitch. If you've been having success running up the middle, I think they're just trying to open up the run game a little bit more. Granted, it did get positive yards.
Nice tackle made, Gigi Flores on the defense for the Cadets. And here's something to also look out for. One of the key linebackers, Blaze Brockman for West Point-Beemer. He's out with an injury. Got hurt in practice yesterday, so some guys are going to have to step up. Here's Luke Wemhoff. Wemhoff plunges. Wemhoff, touchdown. Scotus Shamrocks get across the end zone first and points on the board.
And who else but Wemhoff? We talked about it in the pregame, putting up 156 yards and 2 scores in just his first 2 games, as he has been the absolute workhorse of this offense, just showing why he is the guy to go to for this offense.
It's a 4-yard touchdown run for Lucas Wemhoff. His 3rd touchdown of the season. Botched snap and tackled back at the 15-yard line. Frank Farringer had to scramble and pick up the football, so no extra point. But the Shamrocks do come away with a touchdown to start the game on their opening drive. 6-0, Scotus over West Point-Beemer. We're back next on News Channel Nebraska.
Some jobs are hard work, long hours, busy days, late nights. But there's something in us that keeps us going when we know what we're doing is making a difference in someone's life. Because it's the hardest jobs that are the most important, and that pride you feel makes it more than worth the effort. NPPD, powering our state, empowering your life.
Life is a NCN Sports is sponsored by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. And by Boardman Construction, voted best residential roofer in Northeast Nebraska.
The Scotus Shamrocks drive right down the field on their opening drive. They melt about half of this first quarter clock and score a touchdown. It's Luke Wemhoff, his 3rd touchdown of the season from 4 yards out. Here's the return back at about the 10-yard line, trying to cut back upfield to around the 24, and that is where the tackle is made as West Point-Beemer brings out the offense and tries to rally back from the score. A year ago, 2-7 for the Cadets. It wasn't quite this season that Coach Jacob Ellis was looking for. His first season now, he's got a year, a notch under that belt, and now looking for improvement in year 2, and they've already matched the number of wins, 2-1 for the Cadets. Troyer under center. He keeps it. Connor Troyer pitches to the outside. Nice option play as something that the Cadets are known for. And it's Trevin Weddle who takes the football up to the 45-yard line.
And an excellent perfectly executed veer play. Good read off the first one. You think he's going to keep it, and then the last-minute pitch. And great speed to get to the outside. And that's a great way to start if you're this offense.
Trevin Weddle, that carry, 21 yards, puts him over 300 yards on the season. Just 4 games in now. And still another football game to go. Here's the handoff. Juan Lemus brought down for a loss of a yard. As our broadcast tonight is thanks in part to United Healthcare, where small towns matter. West Point-Beemer, they love the option. That's what they're really, really good at. But I love how Coach Ellis has a couple different play styles from where he's from. He loves running the option. He loves running power football. And they can spread it out at times with their junior quarterback. Troyer gets pummeled 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
And that's something you don't want to see. I mean, you have back-to-back broken option plays, and now you're looking at a 3rd and long, so you really have no option but to put the ball in the air.
That's something that the Scotus defense wants to do, is make West Point-Beemer uncomfortable. If they can force the Cadets to throw the ball on 3rd and long, that's the ideal situation. 3rd down and 13.
I was going to say they want to allow teams to, there's almost a difference in momentum when it comes to throwing the ball.
Troyer drops back, big drop back, throws over the middle, hauled in by Braden Doggett. Doggett works his way forward for a 1st down. Gain of 15, call it 16 yards.
And a great job from Hunter Doggett being able to find the crease. Take a look at that replay here. A great grab, first of all, and being able to find that crease up the middle. Able to convert on a big 3rd down.
Hurry up offense. Miles Nielsen right up the middle for a nice gain of about 4. Nielsen is a sophomore for this West Point-Beemer team. He's gotten a few carries, really active on defense. He had an interception last week against Boys Town. He's one of the all-around players as just a sophomore that the Cadets love. Bounces out to the outside. Trevin Weddle trying to stiff-arm the defender. Stiff-arms Cohen Helen and works his way inside the 20-yard line.
And here comes that offense from West Point-Beemer. Back-to-back huge runs for Weddle as he likes that outside of the field towards the near side. Broken off 2 amazing runs. And now here comes West Point-Beemer in the red zone.
Trevin Weddle, he can make things happen. He's got 2 carries today of 21 and 20 yards. I formation now for West Point-Beemer. Troyer hands off Weddle. 2 hands on the football, gets down to the 15-yard line. A short gain of 3 this time for this senior. Who,
and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep handing the ball off. Keep going up the middle. They're going no huddle here.
Hey, love hurry up right now. Troyer hands off Nielsen. Nielsen only about a yard. Brought down at the 14. And that's 3rd down and 6 now from the 14. 3:35 to play in our first quarter. West Point-Beemer moving the football. Couple chunk plays, putting themselves in position inside the red zone. And here's another thing to look out for. West Point-Beemer is 5 of 29 on 3rd down this season, 17%. However, 4th down, 8 of 16. So they like the 3rd and medium, make it a 4th and short, and go for it on 4th down.
And I think that speaks volumes to their coaching staff and their comfortability with being able to utilize that 4th down. And they've shown just now on that long 3rd down conversion that this is a team that can convert.
Troyer in the shotgun, takes the snap, pitch out. This is Lemus. Juan Lemus to the 10-yard line, cuts back in, and Lemus has a 1st down.
Speed, speed, speed. That is all I can say about that last play. Nothing else gets that 1st down. Lemus just takes the pitch immediately, and he takes that pitch. He's looking pylon. So he just takes that snap, goes full blazes ahead, and that picks up that 1st and goal.
And Lemus, yeah, I mean, he is a guy who has been key on defense for the Cadets the past few years, now getting some offensive touches. And you mentioned it, Andrew, he's got speed. 1st down from the 9-yard line, 1st and goal, handoff, Lemus. And Lemus is in! He scores a touchdown, squeezed through the interior of the defensive line, and the Cadets tie the game early in the first quarter.
And that is exactly why I said that these Cadets are not going to lie down after now putting up their first score against this team in over 2 years. Now get their first points on the board to tie the game. I told you they're going to put up a dogfight tonight.
Number 11, Connor Troyer.
Coming on to boot this PAT through is Colton Haber. He's 2 of 4 from extra points on the season. The PAT is up, and it's good, and that gives West Point-Beemer an early 7-6 lead. 2:39 to play in our first quarter. Fireworks and touchdowns on the first drives for both squads as the Shamrocks get the football coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams. Financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Bank of the Valley. Together we go further. And by Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill. The place to be after the game is Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill in Columbus.
West Point-Beemer drives on down and scores a touchdown, and the PAT good from Colton Haber. And the Cadets lead 7-6. This is a short onside kick. It is taken in and fair caught at about the 39-yard line, maybe trying to catch the Cadets napping.
That was a little strange. I mean, it didn't look like he signaled for a fair catch, but he kind of just caught the ball and just kind of started bouncing in place until the officials blew the play dead. So maybe he was thinking like the officials wouldn't blow it dead, players would stop, and then he would take off, kind of like something you see in a viral video.
We saw that North Texas Arkansas a few years back?
Yes.
On a punt return. Well, here comes Scotus. They've got that bunch formation. Shotkowski in motion, handoff up the middle, pushed back. Max Peterson, Colton Haber, and Nate Vandergrind.
Now that right there is a statement. If you are West Point-Beemer, on that first drive, the Shamrocks have been driving the ball efficiently. And to come out on that first play as the Cadets and say, hey, we're not going to let you drive this ball up the middle anymore. And they clog those two A-gaps, preventing that fullback run. That's a huge statement from West Point.
That's something that is key for West Point-Beemer, forcing defensive pressure. Pellin in the gun, looks to throw right away, throws Memhoff's way, it's incomplete. In the area, Connor Troyer on defense, throw just a little too low. And 3rd down and 9 from the 40-yard line.
And it really appears to be when the Shamrocks do decide to pass, Wemhoff is his favorite target there at that tight end position.
Jordan Kuma, the center, snaps it to Pellin. Pellin fakes the handoff, stops, rolls. Pellin looking deep, got a man. Jackson Hang makes the catch. Hang at the 20. Jackson Hang, touchdown. Scotus Shamrocks answer back with a massive 3rd down play, 60 yards.
Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. Jackson Hang had a contested ball down the sideline, and just, you got to give props to the quarterback here. Pellin knew he was contested one-on-one, decided, hey, I have faith in Hang. I know he can beat him down the sideline. That is exactly what just happened. Great placement from Pellin and great reception from Hang.
And the PAT this time is knocked through. 60 yards on the ginormous throw from Cohen Pellin to Jackson Hang, reached over and caught it over Braden Doggett and takes it in to the end zone. 13-7. Scotus answers right back. And we're coming your way again next on News Channel Nebraska.
At Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN, listening to you to create an individualized healthcare plan that fits your needs and preferences is our top priority. Whether you need an annual checkup, specialized gynecology care, or pregnancy management, we partner with you to provide expert care using advanced practices, technology, and techniques. Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN. Care on your terms is the Faith difference.
Experience what banking local feels like. Bank of the Valley is owned and managed by the people within our community. This means our decisions are made right here by people who care about you and the communities we serve. Knowing our customers personally helps our experienced team provide the best solutions as your banking needs and goals change. Stop into our newest branch in Schuyler, Nebraska, or visit any of our other bank locations in person or online. Bank of the Valley. Together, we go further.
Trevin Weddle breaks a few tackles. He's up to the 25-yard line. A flag on the field. We'll see what that play is. But thanks for joining us on News Channel Nebraska. A moment ago, West Point-Beemer takes a 7-6 lead, and on 3rd down and 9, Cohen Pellin finds Jackson Hang for a big 60-yard touchdown. 60-yard touchdown, which gives Scotus the lead. PAT good by Frank Farringer, and that is one way to flip momentum right back.
And that's the key word I was actually just about to bring up is momentum. I mean, you let West Point come all the way down the field and score on you, and then only a couple plays later just uncan an absolute dot down the field from Pellin. That was an incredible throw. We talked about that at the break. That was outstanding. And it's kind of one of those leading throws where you know you're going to put the ball in a spot that your receiver quite isn't at yet, but he's going to get there, and by doing so, that allowed Hang to break away down that sideline. And that was just a perfect ball, perfect catch, just great execution, and now Scotus, momentum, it's here.
Ball on the 12-yard line after the penalty. Connor Troyer under center. West Point-Beemer had no trouble scoring a touchdown on their opening drive. Here's right up the middle. No, this is a pitch out to the far sideline. Plunging forward, Miles Nielsen. Nice gain of 12 yards.
And a great job by Nielsen lowering his shoulder down the far side of the field, picking up those extra yards. He doesn't lower his shoulder. He's getting stopped 2-3 yards short of where he would have been.
No, it was a great pitch out, too, by Troyer. He knew exactly where to go with the football. Faked me out. The option play, if you can succeed at the option, it makes it so tough to stop because there are 3 different guys who can get the football at any time. I know something that Scotus prides themselves on is stopping the option, but right now West Point-Beemer moving the football right up the middle. Not too much there for Juan Lemus, about 2 yards.
And with those options, those triple option veer plays, I mean, you have 3 reads. That first read is when that quarterback gives to the fullback. Your first read is you're looking at that defensive end. If he's coming, you give to the fullback. If he's going to stay put in his zone, that's when the quarterback's going to pull and run the option with whatever tailback receiver is going to be on that end around. And so far, both teams executing that perfectly.
30 seconds to play in our first quarter. 2-back set now. Double option. Here is a pitch out to Lamus. He's brought down. Big time defensive play. Huge tackle. That's Caleb Cameron who makes the play. Caleb Cameron, a guy who was injured last season, slowly working his way back into the lineup, a special player for this team. Tore his ACL last year, and now making some plays defensively, and that is a huge way to give the Shamrocks some momentum heading into quarter number 2. 3rd down and long coming up next.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Borgman Construction. They get the work done with their own crew, never outsourcing the job. Voted best residential roofer in Northeast Nebraska. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health. Affordable, accessible, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs. all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
Well, a good crowd out today at Pawnee Park in Columbus, Nebraska, as the Scotus Shamrocks have a 13-7 lead over the West Point-Beemer Cadets. Cadets now with a third down and long, and an opportunity for Scotus to get off the field. Troyer trips three wide receivers. Troyer pressured, rolls out on the run, throws a wobbly pass that falls short of the receiver, Trevin Weddle, incomplete. And that brings up fourth down.
And you know, that was a good drop, good play design. Just wasn't able to get the ball in the right spot. Just a little bit too low. If he would have just had that ball with a little more air, that would have been a good gain.
4th and 11. And here is the punt unit for West Point-Beemer. It's a fake, and that does not work for the Cadets. Handed off to Juan Lamus, only got about 4 yards, and now Scotus with the football on their own, or on the Cadets' 30.
And you know, that's why special teams is so important. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but the big moments like that when you're not paying attention can be detrimental to any sort of drive. And so good job from Scotus from staying aware, staying smart, and not being fooled and jumping on that fake.
Brings up first down and 10 after the short gain and a big stop for the Shamrocks. Handoff Evan Keene. Evan Keene sheds a tackle, works his way inside the 25, about the 24.5-yard line.
Coach Linder's starting to show a little bit of RPO action there. Granted, it was a give off that first exchange, but you kind of saw Pellin step back a couple of feet, draw back like he was going to throw. So maybe we might start seeing a few RPOs.
And change the offense a little bit. Right now it's working for Scotus. Under center. Shotkowski in motion. Here's the give to Shotkowski. He finds a block before getting tackled back at the 25-yard line. Nice push there defensively for the Cadets. In there to make the stop, Leo Berrigan. Third down and medium from the 24. And a 13-7 ball game. Boy, that fourth down punt, turnover, fake punt could be a huge swing for Scotus. Rolling out, Pellin rushed. Pellin stands in the pocket, delivers. It's intercepted. Juan Lamus picks it off. Flag is down on the far sideline. Lamus taking it back with Pellin giving chase and tackling him at the 15. Flags on the field.
Touchy is intercepted by.
And it might be coming back. Well, I don't think it's coming back.
It's either a hold, maybe a roughing the passer. We'll see what it is.
Holding green. Penalties decline.
Interception. Juan Lamus flips the field. How about the turn of events for the Cadets?
Wow, he scored the opening touchdown on that first drive, and then comes up with a defensive interception right here. Take a look at that. He had the jump on the route perfectly executed. I mean, you could almost see that coming from a mile away.
Took it all the way to the 18-yard line. About a 58-yard return on the interception.
And he was brought down by Pellin, who threw that ball. And I think that ball just had a little too much air under it, which gave Lemus the time to jump that pass and was able to take it back the distance he was able to, but great effort from Pellin to get on his horse and track him down and prevent a score.
Big loss of 4 for Trevin Weddle. 2nd and 14, under 10 to play in the second quarter as Troyer in the shotgun. He hands it off to the outside. Lemus breaks away, only gets a few. Good defense from Scotus. Nice job, Eli Kreikemeyer. Got in there to reverse the field for Lemus. Now 3rd down and 14.
And you know, look, if this drive ends in a score for the Cadets, you have to understand that because they've been converting on special teams, this drive is for the lead. So this is why the momentum is still so up in the air, because you have one big gain, one big pass, and then the interception, and you can score here.
Over the middle, throw is caught, and short of the first, about at the 13-yard line. Pass hauled in by Braden Doggett.
And I've noticed they've used Duggan over that middle. They've been throwing seams, slants, everything in his way. He's tough in traffic, pulls in the reception. First hit, he kind of bounces off, and he definitely has that toughness on the inside.
And here's that 4th down and short. We were talking about how West Point-Beemer, they don't get a lot of 3rd downs, but they're 50% on 4th down coming into this football game. From the 12-yard line, 4th and 4. Troyer under center. Looking to throw. Troyer dumps it off. Incomplete through the hands of Lemus. Had an opportunity to make a catch and pick up the 1st down with his feet. Ball just slips through his hands.
Yeah, you know, you can't really blame it on the heat of the ball. It just, Lemus had to corral that one in, and you know Lemus is fast. He has the opportunity to make a play, just make a move, and that could have been a 1st down, if not a touchdown, if he was able to make that initial move. Just an opportunity that just slipped right through his hands, quite literally.
And unfortunate for Lemus, he picked off Cohen Pellin. It was the 5th team interception for West Point-Beemer this season. Fakes the handoff on the outside. Now it's up the middle. Evan Keene sheds a tackle. Keene brought down to about the 38-yard line.
And what a run by Keene. Just nose down right up the middle. Slipped through a few tackles. And now here come the Shamrocks.
27-yard carry for Evan Keene, who's been getting the rock quite a few times tonight. Back in that double tight formation for Scotus under center. Pellin hands it off to Luke Wemhoff to the 40-yard line inside the 40. Helmet pops off for Braden Doggett. Gain of 4.
Yeah, and you got to initiate that NSAA rule. Helmet comes off. Doesn't matter the situation. You got to take a play off and recuperate, come back out the next play.
2nd down and 6 after the big play. Another short carry for Wemhoff. Double tight formation. Pellin under center. Man in motion, handoff right away. Flag is down on the far sideline. Could be in an infraction.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure.
That's what it is, illegal procedure. That moves the Shamrocks back 5 yards.
I will say, we haven't seen a lot of penalties, especially penalties that come from discipline. I mean, both these teams, you can tell, are very well coached. They are disciplined. We haven't seen too many penalties that came for, you know, lack of better term, stupid reasons. But so far, you can tell that both teams are disciplined. This is kind of one of the biggest miscues that we've seen from the Shamrocks tonight.
2nd down and 11 for Scotus, a team that went 6-4 last year. All 4 losses for the Shamrocks a year ago were to the last 4 state champions. And 2 of them played in the state championship game, Pearson Aurora. Here's a pitch out, looking to throw maybe. No, Shatkoski keeps it, is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Flag is down again on the far sideline, and a little slow to get up.
Call made by number 53, Angel Perez, and number 54, Ian Schiller.
And what a strange play. I mean, It kind of looked like
Again,
he
there's
took it
a
on the
flag on the
option
play.
pitch. I mean, they've been running it all day, and he just turns up the sideline. But this time, like you said, Kalen had his arm cocked back like he was ready to throw. And so maybe a little trickery coming from the Shamrock sideline.
Angel Perez was a little slow to get up.
5-yard face mask against the defense from the line of scrimmage.
And that is a big play. Turns a 3rd down and long into a 1st down. I'll call it 2nd down. It's not an immediate 1st down play, so they will repeat 2nd down.
And, you know, he came down a little odd. He kind of took a nosedive into the turf, which was kind of the first initial sign of a face mask, and I think that was a good call.
Under center, Pellin. It's motion for Wemhoff, and Keene slips through again and picks up the 1st down toward the 50-yard line. A good gain of 7, and Evan Keene, man, he is so good at finding the gap. 5'10", 185 pounds. Doesn't matter.
Keene has just been doing such a great job when he's given the opportunity to carry the rock, just making his moments, making the best of it.
Pellin under center, hands it off. Keene again. Keene works his way forward, keeps on churning. Those legs do not stop moving. 8-yard gain.
And you know, when you're a fullback, you don't necessarily have the time to use your vision to find the right hole, so you kind of just have to put your nose down and just plow straight through and churn your legs, and Keene's done an excellent job of being able to hit the hole and just keeps his legs churning.
Pellin, this time it's Wemhoff. Short gain of a yard for
and you're
Lucas
kind of starting,
Wemhoff.
Excuse me, Cal, I'm sorry. You're kind of starting to see a pattern here. What it looks like, it's like inside run, and then they try to break something outside, but so far, West Point-Beemer's had good contain.
3rd down and short. Who gets the stronger push? Pellin under center. Hands it off Keene. Keene pushes through, and it's another 1st down. And excuse me, that is Thomas Secchi who gets the handoff. And Secchi works his way up to the 36. It's a gain of 5.
And I think Scotus' approach to this game, as they now run hurry up here, Kalen, they're trying to just beat you with strength and beat you with physicality.
Motion again, and this is a handoff. This is Secchi. Secchi brought down near the sticks. A burst of speed, and something that I know that Tyler Linder loves about the Shamrocks this year, the amount of depth they have.
Absolutely, and you take a look at that run, lowers his shoulder at the very end, just trucks, absolutely plows over a cadet defender, and is just very close to the sticks.
2nd and short. Again, hurrying to the line of scrimmage. Pellin, this is a handoff and brought down behind. Might be enough for the 1st down. We'll see the spot. And that is a 1st down, just enough. Francis Farringer on the carry.
Yeah, it looked like the officials were contemplating whether to give him the spot or not, but turns out they give him the 1st down.
Motion again for Shotkoski. Pellin keeps it up to the 29-yard line, gain of 2. And here's the good thing about this Shamrocks offense. They love to spread the football around. 6 different ball carriers on the ground.
Absolutely, and I think that just shows how they like to diversify their offense, because take a look at all the packages they're running.
Pellin, handoff Keene. Keene finds the outside space before being brought down by Juan Lemus. Gain of 3 to the 21-yard line.
And with those different backfield packages, I think their number 1 guy to go to is Keene. As he's shown time and time again, once he gets the ball in his hands, you're almost guaranteed at least 5 yards.
He's got 9 carries today. Under center. Handoff Sechi. Sechi doesn't get much. Maybe 2 yards just in front of the 20-yard line.
And that's another one of those fullback trap plays. They keep going to the fullback, pounding the ball up the middle. And like I said earlier, we saw a pattern of inside, then they try to pop something to the outside with a little speed. Maybe we'll see that coming up.
And melting the clock. And a flag, Bryce Popkin jumped. Encroachment, and that gives a first down to Scotus. Big penalty. Popkin just got a little too quick of a head start.
And you know, we talked about disciplinary penalties. We haven't seen too much of them. You know, when you start off the game, you're thinking a little bit more quicker on your feet, but as the game kind of starts to drag on, you kind of get lost in the motions, and I think that's what happened there.
Pellin handoff, Sechi up the middle. Sechi breaks a few tackles before being brought down at the 7-yard line.
You got to be kidding. Absolute beast mode, the 1-2 punch in the backfield that Scotus has, utilizing their fullbacks, and clearly you can see why, because every time the fullback touches the ball, they pick up at least 5 or 6.
2:03 to play in the second quarter. Pellin under center. Motion for Wemhoff, handoff, Keene. Keene plunges, pounds his way in to the end zone. Evan Keene, first touchdown on the season. And that is a big way to answer back for Scotus.
And now the Shamrocks make it just that much harder for the Cadets to come back in this game. They've just been relentless with the 1-2 punch at the fullback, and the Cadets don't have an answer.
Farringer PAT is good, almost blocked. Good effort by the quarterback defender. That's Connor Troyer out there. 1:52 to play in our first half. Scotus drives right down, wastes some clock, and finds the end zone. 20-7 over West Point-Beemer. Under 2 to play. Coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Bank of the Valley. Together we go further. And by Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill. The place to be after the game is Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill in Columbus.
Second quarter this evening is brought to you by the crew at O Street Carpet. Thanks for tuning in to our broadcast today. Steve Carper and O Street Carpet. And a big kickoff from Frank Farringer. Hits the back of the end zone and is a touchback. 1:52 to play in the first half. And also make sure you stick around for our halftime highlights, brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman will help make your jewelry dreams come true. 20-17 after the touchdown. Evan Keene, 7 yards out, pounds it through, and now you might see a West Point-Beemer spread offense. And here's what Coach Ellis was talking about with his offense. They do love the option, but he ran spread when he played tight end at Midland in college. They do like to throw the football quite a bit. Troyer, instead, he keeps it on the option pitch, hands it off, reeled in with one hand. Trevin Weddle just short of the first down marker. Might be an inch or two away. And no, it is a first down, 10 yards.
And if it wasn't for the ankle-saving tackle, Weddle could have had the distance there.
Watching Trevin Weddle, I think the biggest thing to say, Andrew, is his acceleration. He can make something out of nothing as Troyer in trouble, being pressured by Keene. Looking to throw, Troyer deep, wide open, caught at the 30-yard line. Plenty of space, touchdown. What a catch and throw and catch. Braden Doggett, 70 yards, and West Point-Beemer comes right back and finds a massive chunk play.
This just reminds me of watching Texas A&M back in the early 2010s. Are you kidding me? Take a look at that.
Rolling out to the left, Bobble Doggett hauls it in and takes it the distance.
A play straight out of Money Manziel's playbook.
Brayton Doggett has every catch tonight. It's his second touchdown of the season. Connor Troyer, this kid's just a junior. He played last year as a sophomore. PAT is good, and we once again have a one-score game. 20-14 after the massive touchdown, 70 yards, and West Point-Beemer comes right back with a huge play of their own. 1:15 to play in the first half. We come back next on NCN.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
And like the flash of a lightning bolt, we have a one-score game again as West Point-Beemer, 70 yards, Connor Troyer to Brayton Doggett finds the end zone for a huge catch-and-run touchdown play to make us a 20-14 game with only a minute 15 seconds to play in the first half. Caitlin Debin and Andrew Pfeiffer joining you on News Channel Nebraska. Now, that's big plays for both teams at different points in this ball game. Scotus, remember, earlier in the first quarter, had a huge play.
And say what you want, Kaylin, about the Cadets, but they won't go away. I mean, you can take a look at the offensive play from Scotus and say, yes, the Shamrocks have been absolutely dominant with their fullback play. They're taking up time. They're taking up chunks of yards. They're burning the clock, but they're also ending these long drives and scores, which is exactly how you want your offense to be managed. But at the same time, the Cadets aren't going away. They have this spark energy in them, big play after big play, that is keeping them in this game.
Under center, Pellet, it's Wemhoff in motion. Here's the give to Shotkoski. He's got speed on the outside, brought down by the back of the jersey. Trevin Weddle brings him down. And we'll see if Scotus tries to hurry, maybe just wants to run the ball and take the lead into the locker room.
And you know, you're under a minute. You do have the lead. You wonder if you want to play conservative, like you said, Kalen, just keep the ball on the ground, no turnovers, no mistakes, just go to half with the lead and the momentum.
And if you break a big run here, then you maybe call a timeout, try to do something downfield. 33 seconds, Pellin under center. To the 25 seconds, and now hand off to the outside, Luke Wemhoff. He's looking to make something happen. Wemhoff spins up inside the 50, across the 50, down to the 47-yard line, and that's exactly what we mean. A 15-yard gain for Luke Wemhoff, and now Scotus burns a timeout. Maybe try to give your kicker, Frank Farringer, an opportunity to boot one through.
And I think you said it yourself, Kalen, calling it into existence. If one of those long runs breaks, why not utilize one of your timeouts?
You've got some explosive players like Luke Wemhoff. He can make a lot of things happen. And look at this spin right here. Shed off a tackle and kept churning for a couple more yards across the 50-yard line. That's how you want your talented backfield to work. When you get the football, keep going. And they've done a tremendous job at that tonight.
Absolutely they have. And, I mean, it all just goes back to that 1-2 fullback punch. And, you know, they run these option plays, but they don't really necessarily do, because their first read, they always give it to the fullback, and he's doing the dirty work. So we haven't seen a whole lot of those outside runs because they haven't had to run them.
Right. It's a lot less of the quick option plays, depending on what the defense is giving you. but you have 3 different guys who can get the ball at any time.
Yeah, this is the type of football that your grandpa likes to watch on Thanksgiving.
From the 47, Pellin, quick throw screen to the outside. Here's Luke Wemhoff. Wemhoff brought down by Weddle on the near sideline. Timeout called by Coach Linder. I think that is Scotus's final timeout with 11 seconds to play in the first half. Ball will be placed at the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 6.
So there's really, I guess, 2 or 3 options that you could take here. I mean, for one, you could try to take a shot down the field and see if something miraculously gets in the end zone, but I think that's kind of a last resort type of scenario. But I think initially, I mean, if you're Scotus, do you want to try to get a quick pass to the sideline with only 11 seconds left, leave enough time, single digits on the clock for your kicker to have an opportunity? Or do you just try to lob one up for the end zone? Or, I mean, you still have a timeout left. So you could even hypothetically run the ball, see if it breaks big, potentially to get your kicker into field goal range. So any one of those 3 might be a possibility. The odds of them taking a shot, I would doubt, just risk management-wise, but we'll see what happens here.
Right, and that was Scotus's last timeout. They have no more timeouts. Called one in the first quarter and then called 2 on this drive. 11 seconds to play. On the board, though, here at Pawnee Park still says 2 timeouts, so we'll see what happens here. Trips to the near side, 2 wide receivers. And now Shatkoski also runs a route. Pellin looking to throw. He'll use his big arm and uncork it downfield. It's caught by Wemhoff. No, just incomplete. Had his hand on it. Wow, that would have been a massive play. Either way, clock stops. Might be the best thing for the Shamrocks, having the clock stop.
And it looks like there's a little laundry down on the field, down by the 35. Either way, Wemhoff, you can see he had the ball in his hands, but great defensive effort with Lemus in coverage, being able to break up the pass once it was hauled in. And now you only have a play left with 2 seconds left. So, I mean, really, now realistically, all you can do is take a shot.
Defensive player, White, 15 yards.
So a personal foul on West Point-Beemer, and that will put Scotus 15 yards closer, maybe have a field goal try. How far can Frank Farringer kick it? Well, maybe try to keep the offense out there.
Oh, looks like they're going to kick it.
They will try this thing.
And it looks like they were called for a defenseless player.
And actually, Josh Bixenman comes in to maybe kick this thing from the 26-yard line. Timeout called by West Point-Beemer. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. 20-14, 2 seconds remaining. Can Scotus Central Catholic increase their lead? Coming up on NCN.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
.43. 2 seconds remain. A 43-yard field goal attempt for Bixenman. Snap is down. The boot is a line drive, just wide and no good. So Scotus gives themselves an opportunity to boot through a field goal. They do not convert, and we have a one-score ball game back and forth. Scotus leads West Point-Beemer 20-14. We will bring you your halftime highlights, coverage, stats, and more coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
The Halftime Report on NCN is sponsored by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health matters.
Look at our cheerleaders on the field performing a routine from the Teen Beach movie. Ever seen that movie?
I have not, personally.
It's a fan favorite of mine. But let's talk about some of our halftime highlights here today on News Channel Nebraska. Scotus in West Point-Beemer, 20-14, a one-score game. And here's how it starts. Touchdown from Luke Wemhoff. He was one of our key players to watch. He is so explosive and can make things happen at any moment. Scores a touchdown there. Now here's another handoff. It's Juan Lamus who squeezes his way in for a touchdown. Put the PAT through and made it a one-point game. Cadets 7 and Shamrock 6. Now looking to throw. Pellin rolls out. He's looking for a big play. Launches it to Jackson Hang, who makes the reception right over the defense of Doggett and takes it into the end zone for a 60-yard touchdown. That puts Scotus back up 13-7. Now Scotus, after a fourth down fake punt that didn't go well for the Cadets, intercepted Juan Lamus. Beautiful vision, little bobble, doesn't matter. Picked it off and returns it all the way down inside the 20-yard line and put West Point-Beemer in great position. They weren't able to score. Scotus long drive, handoff Evan Keene, 7 yards. Charges into the end zone for a touchdown, puts it back up 20-7 now. Only a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Troyer pressured by Evan Keene. He dodges. Troyer to the left. Throws on the run. Who does he find? Braden Doggett. Another bobble, but it doesn't matter. 70 yards to the house. Braden Doggett touchdown. And West Point-Beemer brings it within a score, 20-14. And it's been a fun game, big plays after we've had long offensive drives, but really, Andrew, the key to this game so far has been those big plays.
Yeah, big plays is exactly what I said. I mean, you take a look at the Shamrock offense, they have that 1-2 points punch between Keene and Seti, and they've been using those fullbacks to eat up a chunk of the time and field possession, and so Scotus's offense has been on the field for a majority of this game. But it doesn't even really matter that much because West Point-Beemer would come out 2 plays later. What do you know? They just have these deep shots down the field and are keeping themselves in this game because of these big plays.
And that's exactly what we've had today. 96 yards passing for Connor Troyer compared to 86 yards passing for Cohen Pellin. He also has a touchdown and an interception. Now 4 picks on the year for the junior quarterback. We'll want to find a little bit of green grass and get some more touchdowns there to counteract those turnovers. But early in the season, plenty of time for improvement. 20-14, your score. Scotus up by 6 over West Point-Beemer. We'll return with more halftime coverage coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. And by Boardman Construction, voted best residential roofer in Northeast Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Bank of the Valley. Together we go further. And by Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill. The place to be after the game is Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill in Columbus.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
I have seen other chiropractors in the past, but Dr. Kim really is in tune with your body and your individual needs. I have a really physically demanding job. She keeps my body going.
Being in the military, it's very hard on the body, so I see her quite often after drill weekends. I believe that the body is a machine, and the best way to heal it is being in alignment and letting the body do the work. There's no age too young or too old to see Dr. Kim.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Borgman Construction. They get the work done with their own crew, never outsourcing the job. Voted best residential roofer in Northeast Nebraska. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health. Affordable, accessible, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Get rewarded and earn interest for using your My Design Rewards checking account with Midwest Bank. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and I get rewarded when I use my debit card grabbing a bite to eat or getting coffee before class. It's easy, simple, and smart. It's not about how much money I have in my account. I get rewarded just for using my debit card at all my favorite places. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Bank of the Valley. Together we go further. And by Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill. The place to be after the game is Bo's West Sports Bar and Grill in Columbus.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Thursday night football action. Columbus Scotus with a 20-14 lead over West Point-Beemer. Thanks for tuning in. Pawnee Park in Nebraska here today. And a beautiful night as it is. We're trying to wave up here from the booth. You might be able to see us a little bit. Should we stand up here? Oh, yeah, they can see us. We'll see if we can get a little zoom in here. Maybe, maybe not. That's okay. Well, we're waving, and you can see us here today. It's been a fun game. Kalen Devin and Andrew Pfeiffer. Let's take some scores around the league here. Not a whole lot of action on a Thursday night. Bellevue East a 28-0 lead over Omaha Northwest there in Class A. Also Lincoln East 28-0 over Lincoln Northeast. So Rockets there not hanging too well with the Trojans. Now we've got the Lincoln Northwest, or Grand Island Northwest and Elkhorn North tied up at 3 in a low-scoring battle. Also, Southwest 36, Creek Valley nothing. I believe those are all of the scores in Nebraska right now, at least that we have on our database. So couple good games, couple not so good games. I think we might have the best game of the bunch on a Thursday night, besides for maybe Vikings-Eagles NFL action. Philadelphia 10-7 over Minnesota.
Hey, I had to put my birds on just in the corner, just for updates. Yeah, it's been a great night of football, Kalen. Both of these teams keeping it close. I mean, I talked about it during the pregame, but you know, this Cadets team isn't just going to roll over like they did last year with the 49-0 victory that Scotus was able to achieve last year. But not only have they stuck in this game, but they've shown that through these explosive plays that they can be legitimate competitors with this team. I mean, both teams are coming off 2-1 records. They both have a lot of momentum heading into this game, and it's just been these two very almost different kinds of offenses. I mean, you have Scotus on one end with the ground and pound, and then you go over to West Point, and they've had luck through the air. So I expect this to be a very close game, especially towards the end. Maybe I can predict Scotus kind of pulling away late, but if that, with the time of possession is the biggest thing, and that's the thing that the Shamrocks have done best by utilizing that fullback. So if you're West Point, you need to keep the ball out of the Shamrock offense and keep finding ways to make plays for yourself.
We talk about Jacob Ellis, his second year as head coach at West Point-Beemer. Here is a little bit of the transition from last year to this year. Last year, Cadets scored 142 total points. That's 15.7 points per game. This year, they've already scored 94 points. That's 26.6 points per game. So just jumping that number up by 11 points per game. I know it's only been 3 games in, but that is a major, major improvement there for the second-year head coach and the West Point-Beemer Cadets. But, of course, we can't talk about the Cadets all night long. It's Scotus with the lead 20-14. This is a really talented football team. Lost some really big battles last season against the last 4 state champions in Nebraska Class C1. And then this season, couple really close games. We're in a close game right now. And coming up, let's take a look at Scotus' schedule. They've got number 7, Douglas County West. They're 3-0. Douglas County West beat this West Point-Beemer team 42-0 in that Week 1 opener. And also down the line for Scotus, number 2, Wahoo. That's a really good Warrior football team.
That's going to be a highly anticipated game for sure. I mean, Scotus is holding their own as well, and, you know, potentially could be candidates for the postseason. Obviously, you can't make that call just yet, but you can see the obvious growth and improvement from both sides of the ball here. And, I mean, they go to Arlington next week. Arlington has yet to have a win this season, and yet last season they don't even have a win. So Scotus is going to, regardless of the outcome of this game, Scotus is going to take next week, and not to disrespect the other Arlington team, of course, but when you have those types of weeks, that's really when you want to go to your bench, you want to access your depth, and you want to give your starters kind of a rest just to be able to kind of get them prepared for those high-ranking opponents.
And, I mean, Scotus is in a tough district, too. We talked about some of those opponents. Douglas County West, Wahoo. Schuyler is 2-1 this season. Lakeview is a talented football team. They're 1-2 this year, but they are very, very talented. And it's going to be a really interesting season to see how things play out. And I think 2 teams tonight that have a lot of figuring out of who they are. West Point-Beemer has only 4 seniors on the roster. Scotus only 8 seniors. So what's really cool about both programs is they're bringing back a lot for next season.
And that speaks volumes. I mean, it is very obvious, very apparent how much growth this team has had with a second-year head coach, and they've made very long stretches. Now they're 2-1. Last year they were 2-7, so they already have the 2 wins that they made up for from last year. So there's clear growth, clear improvement, and it's only going to get better with this young squad. Like you said, they're only going to lose 6 starters. And so that's huge, and they may not have the most numbers. You know, taking a look at the sideline right now, they only may have enough to have 1 or 2 deep at each position. But because these players are so young, they're able to have that experience and hang with those other older big boys. This team is going to be something to watch for in the coming years.
Stats on the game for Scotus. Cohen Pellin, 86 yards through the air, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Evan Keen's got 69 yards on the ground, while Luke Wemhoff has 33 yards and a touchdown. Keene also has a touchdown for West Point-Beemer. 96 yards through the air for Connor Schroyer. On the ground, Trevin Weddle has 50 yards, and Juan Lamus with 16. Also through the air, receiving-wise, Braden Doggett, he's got all 96 yards, and an interception for 58 yards in the return, Juan Lamus as well. He's been a big player today. As we are opening up the second half, it's West Point-Beemer to receive. And if we've seen some fireworks tonight, this is a huge opportunity for the Cadets to put a statement as we open up the second half, but also an opportunity for Scotus to see if their defensive adjustments come out well out of the locker room and can start to really stop this Cadet offense.
And you have the opportunity now receiving the ball at half. You had the big plays. Let's see what you can come up with on offense here.
Kickoff hits the back of the end zone. And it is a touchback, 20-14, as West Point-Beemer returns their offense. And junior quarterback Connor Troyer, who is leaps and bounds more improved from his sophomore campaign just a year ago. It's always hard to be a starting quarterback, especially as only a sophomore, and kind of get thrown to the wolves, but sometimes that can help.
And taking a look at his numbers from the previous weeks up until this game, he is 19 for 33 with 310 through the air. So that's a 57.58% passing completion, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception ratio. The improvements there.
And he has some momentum with his legs. Charges forward for a nice gain of about 6. Brings up second down and 4.
And there's that veer play that they've been going to all game. Quarterback decides to take it himself off that first initial read. And it worked out well for them as he picks up a nice gain of about 7.
From the 27-yard line, Cadets offense has had some good plays all game long. Here's the give to Trevin Weddle. Weddle breaks a couple tackles following blockers, and Weddle finally brought down after the first down gain of 5 yards.
And great patience from Weddle. You can see as he's coming through the hole, he's got the hand on the back of one of his linemen who's leading him up the seam, and good patient running from Weddle as he picks up the first down.
2 sophomores on the offensive line, both tackles, Nate Vandergrind and Ian Schiller, both sophomores for the Cadets. 2 juniors on the interior, Angel Perez and Max Peterson, and one of them, a really good center, Colton Haber. He's been a senior. He's a senior and has started for 3 straight years now.
It looks like the Cadets are having some personnel issues.
Here's a carry on the outside. It's Trevin Weddle, who doesn't get much. Third quarter brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of pain, not just the symptoms. It is a carry for no gain for Trevin Weddle. He's only got 7 carries. He had 5 carries there in the first half, and now 2 to begin the third quarter. When you have a guy like Weddle who's rushed for over 300 yards, you maybe think that he might carry the football a little bit more. He only averages about 10 carries a game, so he's a big play guy.
And on that last play, we had Jackson Hang who made that tackle, scored that first touchdown, now making plays on defense.
Troyer looks to throw. That pass is incomplete. Was looking for Weddle out of the backfield. And just a little too low. Third down and 10.
And you know, with these types of schools, you see a lot of two-way players. You see a lot of two-way guys. And, you know, you go out there and you catch a 60-yard bomb and go out to the end zone. Next thing you know, you got to make plays on defense. And so hats off to, you know, Jackson Hang and everyone else that's a two-way player being able to get the job done on both sides of the ball.
A lot of these guys, two-way players. Evan Keene, Alex Evans, Henry Raymakers, they're on the front line for Scotus. Weddle in motion. Keeper, Troyer pitches out to Weddle. He fumbles the football, recovered by the Shamrocks. And they do have it. That flips the field, and turnovers might be the story of how this game goes.
And that was the miscue that we saw a little bit earlier off the option pitch. That's probably the 3rd or 4th bobbled pitch we've seen. Take a look at the replay here. Pitches it out to the edge. Just tries to corral the ball in, but was unable to grasp it, falling into the hands of Scotus. Scotus able to capitalize in good field position now on offense.
Really nice job. Caleb Cameron jumping on that football. We mentioned how he's back after a torn ACL and is able to grab the ball for the Shamrocks. Handoff for Luke Wemhoff, only a gain of 1. That interior defensive line collapses.
And now you're back on defense for the Cadets. Now this is what you didn't want to do, is you don't want to give the Shamrocks the ball, because not only are they going to eat up yards, but they're going to eat up clock, which is exactly what their game plan is going to be here, as we've seen in this last play.
Wemhoff in motion, handoff Keene. Keene with a nice gap. Gets close to the sticks, a gain of 9 yards for Evan Keene. And we have to give some credit to the entire junior offensive line. Caleb Cameron, Grant Zuha, Jordan Kuma, Henry Raymakers, and Alex Evans. They have been clearing path almost all night long here on a 3rd and short. Keene with the carry, and he does get the first down.
And I mean, it all starts up front, doesn't it? I mean, I know it's cliche, but it all starts up front with the big boys. And I mean, those are the ones that pave the lane for those backs to hit those holes. And I think, like you said, I think that was a good of you to mention that O-line, because they've gotten really no recognition from us today so far, but they're really paving the way for these backs.
Under center, Pellin hands it off again. Here's a nice carry. Thomas Secchi inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. A gain of 11.
1-2, 1-2. Wear down that West Point Cadet defense with the 1-2 punch between Secchi and Keene, both showing tremendous ability to find the hole and get big chunks of yards.
Secchi's done a really nice job spelling Evan Keene. A short carry, Spencer Schatkowski. Or was that Secchi again? It was Thomas Secchi. Lost one that time.
And I understand they're trying their best to diversify the run. It seems like all, if not a majority, if not all of their yards or carries on the run have come from that fullback position. It looks like there's someone down there, Kalen.
Yeah, Schatkowski limping off the field. Second and long. Handoff up the middle. Secchi pushing forward. Bullying his way down to the 10-yard line.
T-A-L-A-T. Take a look at that. An unbelievable run from Secchi. Honestly, I can't believe these guys still have the energy that they do to keep going. Goes through one guy who was pretty high on his tackle but keeps his legs turning. Wow.
We talk about that's how these Shamrocks have been running the football all day. Under center, Pellin. Handoff outside, Luke Wemhoff. Wemhoff, touchdown, reaches over and puts the Shamrocks up by 2 scores. His second touchdown of the game, 4th on the season.
And that's what I talked about at halftime. Here's the little designed run to the outside. One of the first outside runs to break now for the Shamrocks, as they've just been pushing the ball inside. Now finally able to break something to the outside. And like I said, you want to, if you are the Shamrocks, you're trying to maintain possession time of the ball, keep running, take the game away, and slowly start to pull away late in the game.
This offense is humming now as Scotus takes the fumble. They get possession and score a touchdown 10 yards out for Luke Wemhoff. 27-14 Shamrocks over the Cadets. We return with 7:02 to play in the 3rd quarter on News Channel Nebraska.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding band, so we'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
.702 to play in our 3rd quarter on News Channel Nebraska. The Scotus Shamrocks drive right down the field. They take over a fumble as Trevin Weddle put it on the ground. It was recovered by Caleb Cameron, and the Shamrocks score a touchdown 10 yards out just a moment ago from Luke Wemhoff. This kick goes out of bounds, and that is a free kick out of bounds, giving West Point-Beemer a good field position. Cadets down by 13. This is kind of where we've seen those big plays happen and breakdown in coverages. But we mentioned how good the Shamrocks have been whenever they came out of the halftime locker room making plays defensively.
Green, 5-yard penalty.
Well, it looks like they got a procedural issue, so they're going to have to go re-kick. And I mean, good thing. I mean, you know, it. Oh, so a little bit of a miscue there. So instead of re-kicking, West Point-Beemer is going to take the ball at the 35.
Well, I think that's a good choice. I mean, the Shamrocks have a few guys who can really boot it. They have Frank Behringer. And they also have Josh Bixenman, both big legs. So might as well take the guaranteed yards from the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Connor Troyer and the West Point-Beemer Cadets. Here's a handoff. It's Nielsen, and Nielsen works his way down to the 39-yard line. Gain of 4 for the sophomore. West Point-Beemer, they've thrown a couple different things out. They've thrown that veer, the triple option, the wing tee. Sometimes they go into the spread. But with 6.5 minutes to play, down by 2 scores, really might want to try to find a way to go vertical. Same exact play. Nielsen gets the carry again, doesn't get anything. Maybe a yard up to the 40.
And, you know, maybe you're down 2 scores. Every time Scotus gets the ball, you know they're just going to eat up that clock. And, you know, with 6:17 left in the third, I mean, that's exactly what they're going to do. I mean, they're pulling away. They're trying, I've said it probably 10 times. They're going to just keep eating the clock. So if you're West Point, I don't know if you exactly want to keep the ball on the ground per se, but like you said, try to take some of those vertical shots.
Weddle in motion. It is a pitch out to Trevin Weddle, and Weddle's got speed. He spins away. Trevin Weddle up the far sideline using the acceleration, puts his shoulder down, and gets this ball across the 15. What a carry.
And Weddle's making me eat my words right now, me saying, go vertical, throw it past, take a look at the run instead. Well's like, nah, I got this. Shoving people to the ground down the sideline. He has that breakaway speed. Get off me.
45 yards for Trevin Weddle. Here's a handoff. Miles Nielsen gets bottled up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard. Trevin Weddle with big play ability. His last carry was a fumble until that 45-yard chug down the far sideline. 5.5 to play in the third quarter. Big opportunity for the Cadets from the 14-yard line. Can the Shamrock defense stand tall? It's something that they're known here in Columbus. They have a very talented defensive unit. Under center, Troyer pitches it out. And away in Juan Lamus. Lamus gets to the end zone. Touchdown. Juan Lamus, his second touchdown of the ball game. And the running attack, ground attack continues to roar in this game, as West Point-Beemer back within a score.
And that's the last thing I would have expected, truly. We have only seen points come from those big plays, but this time West Point was like, we're going to stay poised, we're going to keep the ball on the ground, and after a big couple of runs, that's exactly what happened. They ran the same play twice in a row just to the other side, and it paid off big for them both times.
PAT is wide left, so now we've got a 7-point game. Colton Haber just to the left of that left upright, and 5:05 to play in the third quarter. West Point-Beemer finds the end zone, can't knock through the PAT. It's 27-20, Scotus over West Point-Beemer.
I was given a prescription opioid pain medication that lasted a lot longer than the pain itself, and within only a few months, I was completely addicted. I lost everything, and I started to watch my life slip away. These drugs are addictive. One prescription can be all it takes to lose everything.
Cadets find the end zone after a few big plays. 45-yard carry for Trevin Weddle, and finished off by a 14-yard touchdown run by Juan Lamus. PAT from Haber, no good, and it is a 7-point game. Scotus with that one-score lead over West Point-Beemer. My name is Kalen Devin, joined by Andrew Pfeiffer here tonight on NCN. It has been a tremendous game, back and forth. Scotus seems to take that lead, and then West Point-Beemer comes on right back. Really, the Cadets have not taken that opportunity to extend the lead and come back and maybe try to take that lead. And now kicking an onside kick. It's picked up and brought out of bounds just over the 40-yard line to the 41. So the second onside kick of the game recovered by Scotus.
And I kind of understand what they're trying to do here. I mean, maybe they were trying to catch the Shamrocks napping a little bit by kicking a quick little onside in an open little crawl space, trying to get it done. But, you know, good awareness from Scotus once more, being able to jump on the ball. But also, I wanted to talk about in their last drive, it was in a way you least expected for them to score. They actually showed poise on offense, and besides the spark, was able to start a rhythm.
Nice, tough run up the middle for Evan Keene. He's had a really nice day today. Another Thursday night football action. Another green team, Eagles, leading the Vikings 13-7. 4:35 to play in our third quarter. Good thing that no one here has allegiance to the Eagles.
Yeah, it'd be a shame, wouldn't it?
Under center, Pellin. Man in motion is Wemhoff. He gets the pitch. Luke Wemhoff, he can make some things happen. Cuts back inside, picks up the first down across the 50 to the 44-yard line. Luke Wemhoff, he is so fun to watch with the football.
And not to take away from this game, you guys, but I believe we just witnessed the world record field goal on the NFL side. If you're watching any NFL tonight, Jake Elliott just nailed a 61-yarder, so it might be within a yard or so.
Record is 66. Justin Tucker over the Lions a few years ago. Here is the outside carry. It's Luke Wemhoff, stiff arm. Luke Wemhoff to the 20, 10. Luke Wemhoff, touchdown number 3. It's a hat trick. He's hit hard in the back of the end zone. He's down. Flag is down. Wemhoff gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. Hat trick for the young man.
Oh, and Wemhoff's being surrounded by athletic trainers, and he's still down, and the only hope he's going to be okay. And it was a good call by the officiating crew, what kind of looked like a late hit there.
Results of the play, touchdown.
It's a 44-yard touchdown.
The play, personal foul, defense. Be administered on a kickoff.
So they'll administer the personal foul on the kickoff. So Wemhoff clearly got into the end zone and was taken down late, resulting in not only the penalty but the injury, as he is now being swarmed by medical training staff, and he is still down there in that end zone.
All we can hope is that that young man, Luke Wemhoff, is okay. He's had a terrific night, and his helmet's off. He's breathing. 3:51 to play in the third quarter, and man, he has been down for a few minutes, about a minute and a half now. And hoping that he can get up. He looks to be aware. It was a big carry, 44 yards for the touchdown. And we talk about Luke Wemhoff all game long, Andrew, just how great of an athlete he is. He scored his 3rd touchdown. He's over 100 yards now in the game. And with a 33-20 lead, we will pause in the action and return coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
At Elkhorn Valley Bank, we believe in local. It's something we live by. It's something we're proud of. It's helping our neighbors grow like they've helped us. Supporting families, investing in lives, and creating prosperity. Local means making decisions that grow and improve surrounding communities we call home. Investing in our nonprofits and giving back. Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, great for you, great for your community.
Wemhoff wobbling off the field. He is stable, but he looks like he's in quite a bit of pain, not trying to put any pressure on that leg. PAT is a high snap. It is good. Still squeaks his way up there. So Scotus comes right back, ground and pound, touchdown Luke Wemhoff, 34-20. And looking at Wemhoff, here's the run. He's not putting any pressure on that right leg. Wemhoff, wow, look at that speed, gets to the end zone.
That's what right there. That's what they called it on the late hit. He went low.
Braden Doggin made that tackle, and almost immediately his offensive line is there to help stretch him out.
And, it was just a very low hit. It looks like, he's still keeping weight off of that right foot, and it looks like after 3 touchdowns and a heck of a night, it looks like his night's going to be done.
I couldn't imagine wanting to. I understand you want to get him back in the football game, but the way that tackle happened and the way that he was helped off the field might be wise to finish his evening, but he has been very, very good. And for Scotus, fortunately, still have a lot of firepower back in the backfield. It is a big loss. But, of course, you want to make sure that the health of your athletes, that's the number one priority.
And just
kickoff unit comes out.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I'm looking down on the sideline. They're tending to him at the moment, and he looks to be in some serious distress with that lower leg pain. You can kind of see him wincing, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, trying to stretch things out. It can always be hard. Having an injury like that probably put some ice on it. Here's the kickoff. It is a low kick over the head of the return team and into the end zone. It is a touchback. And there's Wemhoff again. After scoring a 44-yard touchdown, getting rolled on the sideline. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Those rollers, they help. They can stretch out your muscles, but boy, in the moment, they don't feel too great.
Oh my goodness! Like, think of it like ripping a Band-Aid off. Like it's helping you.
The feeling is good afterward.
But you're popping like a joint back in place. Like, it hurts, but I mean, it's necessary.
14-point lead for Scotus. Handoff up the middle is a short gain. It's Juan Lamus. About 4 yards for Lamus. He scored a touchdown the last time West Point-Beemer was out on the field. It's a 34-20 game. Kind of always been at this 2-score margin ever since the first quarter. Handoff goes nowhere for Lamus and the Cadets. Brings up 3rd down from the 25.
You talked about it, Kalen. You said we've been seeing this 2-score deficit throughout the duration of the entire game, and it just seems like the same story over and over. Scotus has the ball. They take a lot of time and yards. They take a lot of time off the clock and end their drives and scores. Very well coached, very well executed. And then Scotus just keeps catching breaks and keeps taking deep shots, and now their offense is starting to find a rhythm.
Nielsen gets the handoff in the wing tee, gets blasted backward. And they've run that play with Miles Nielsen a few times now. It goes for a gain of 1, and it's 4th down. Cameron Campbell on the tackle.
Right now, the biggest thing for Scotus is there might have been a little bit of extracurriculars after that play. And I mean, maybe it was just a shy too late, but right now, if you're Scotus, you got to be careful. You got to stay disciplined on that defensive end. You don't want to give up any stupid penalties. It's 4th down and relatively short. This could be an opportunity for a hard count. So right now, if you're the defense, you want to stay disciplined, stay smart, and not fall for any cheap penalties.
4th down. And it is a timeout called by West Point-Beemer. 4th down and 4 from their own 26. Will the Cadets go? That's coming up on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Stop by your nearest Speedy Mart or Good to Go convenience stores today. USAFE Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, meeting your sales, service, and parts needs.
At Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN, listening to you to create an individualized healthcare plan that fits your needs and preferences is our top priority. Whether you need an annual checkup, specialized gynecology care, or pregnancy management, we partner with you to provide expert care using advanced practices, technology, and techniques. Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN. Care on your terms is the Faith difference.
Fourth down and 4. And trips to the near side. Troyer. Another flag is down. Illegal procedure will back up the Cadets again.
Offense.
Fourth down and 9. So now you've got 4th and long from your own 21-yard line.
I mean, look, I know you're down by 2 scores. Do you want to give your defense an opportunity at an offense that's been taking the clock the entire game? I mean, or do you punt it and at least try to give your defense a shot? But from obviously the apparent lack of being able to stop the run, it looks like they're just going to keep their offense out on the field. So they're okay with giving Columbus that field position if they don't convert.
Trips to the near side. Troyer takes the snap, rolls out almost immediately. Pressured throws. It is caught. Trying to stay in bounds. Weddle. He picked up the first down.
Wow.
Gain of 10 yards. And the Cadets stay alive.
I love the aggressiveness from Ellis on the sideline. Not afraid to take a shot on 4th down. You saw there, we were talking about conversions earlier. Kalen, a great catch. Tried to stay in bounds, but he was where he needed to be, and a good first down play.
You saw what Weddle did. He looked over at the far sideline, made sure he had that first down, and knew it was okay to go down if he had to. 1st and 10 from the 32, a minute and a half remaining in the 3rd quarter. Cadets down by 2 touchdowns. Single back is Weddle. He gets the pitch. Trevin Weddle doesn't break that tackle. Beautifully done by Mason Gunka.
Trevin Weddle, nice tackle made by number 16, Mason Gunka. No gain on the play. Bring up a
second down and 10.
That was a great tackle from Wemhoff, containing the outside. And that's something that Columbus has been doing a great job of, is being able to contain that outside run, as they prove it right there.
In motion, Troyer keeps. Troyer pitches it out at the last minute to Weddle, and Weddle stays on his feet. He is such a good ball carrier. 9 yards for number 5.
And that could have been disastrous. I mean, you want to talk about the definition of making something out of nothing. The ball hit the turf originally, could have gone the other direction, but nice job for, you can see here after the pitch was a little bit late, but the ball went on the ground. Wemhoff able to scoop it up, keep the feet turning. I mean, that's the you look up something out of nothing, that's going to be the first
keeps.
thing.
Lots of space. Miles Nielsen. First down across the 50 to the 45. Gain of 14 yards for number 14. The sophomore continues to find some space.
And the Cadets continuing to find that offensive rhythm on the ground. And as that closes out the 3rd quarter, you got to wonder if that game plan is going to change now.
We'll see if the Cadets can use a spark to find their offense and find a touchdown, while Scotus, can their defense hold on? 34-20, Shamrocks in front of the Cadets. 4th quarter coming up on NCN.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
We've had a fun game so far through 3 quarters. Scotus 34, West Point-Beemer 20. With only one more quarter remaining, can the Cadets keep their offense on the field and try to get right back? Yet a claw in this game. It's something that Jacob Ellis mentioned to us before the game, Andrew. He said we have to fight with Scotus all game long.
And you're completely right. And now is your time to put up that fight.
Hand up. No, it's a pitch out. Nielsen with some space on the far sideline, out of bounds after a gain of 13.
And you want to be conservative now with that clock. I mean, if you have the ball and you're going down, obviously your first instinct is you want to save time, so you want to take a step out of bounds and give your offense a chance to put up those 2 scores.
Under center, Troyer. Wing T, handoff to Weddle, and Weddle squeezes through for a couple yards across the 30 to the 29. It's a gain of about 2. That formation hasn't worked incredibly well for West Point-Beemer. They've done pretty well in this spread in that triple option, but Wing T has not been as good. Under center, it's Troyer again, looking to throw right away, quickly over the middle, intercepted. Jackson Hang picks it off, and Hang flips the field. Columbus Scotus gets the football, and the Shamrocks turn away the Cadets in the early portion of this 4th quarter.
Are you kidding me? The first half hero with the big reception, and now gets the interception. Oh my goodness gracious. Hang is having himself quite the game.
And now the Shamrocks bring out their big offensive line, a chance to really work this clock in the 4th quarter. Handoff right away. This is Keene shedding tackles, dragging by defenders. It's a gain of 6.
And here we go. Now Scotus, you got 10:34 left. You're running the ball well. You're not going to see a whole lot of, you're not going to see anything change, but you know, maybe, I mean, just maybe if you catch them sleeping. I know you're expecting the run, but maybe if you really want to put the nail in the coffin, then maybe take a shot or 2.
Pellin has not thrown a football in this second half. He's under center here. He's watching that clock. Under center. Hands it off. This is back into the game. Luke Wemhoff, who picks up the first down, and Wemhoff, he looks to be okay. Gain of 8 yards.
Hey, I'm in those scenarios, I'm happy that I'm wrong. I thought his night was over. After that injury, it looked like it was just not good. But hey, take a look. He's back.
And he looks as bouncy as ever across the 50-yard line. It's been a beautiful day for Luke Wemhoff, and we are elated to see him back in this football game and okay. Under center, Pellin watching that clock intently. Under center, in motion, hands it off up the gut, pushing forward, nice gain. And that's Thomas Secchi. 4 yards for Secchi.
Man, you just have to admire how this Columbus Scotus team is coached. You can really tell the discipline down on the field. They're true winners, and you can tell just by the smartness of how they play. And it's been working for them so far, and just hats off to this offense especially.
This is Secchi again, and Secchi's got space. Up across the 30-yard line, inside to the 27.
And they are just bullying this Cadets defense, just a fullback give. The Red Sea parts ways, and there's just open green grass in front of you. And that's one of the most beautiful fullback plays you can see. That's every fullback's dream.
Secchi's done a great job coming off the sideline tonight, spelling Evan Keene. Keene back into the game now, 8:34 to play. A 2-score lead for the Shamrocks.
I wonder who the ball's going to, Kalen.
And this is Evan Keene to the outside. Nice run off tackle. 3 yards for Keene.
And now you're just, when you're Shamrocks, you're just making a statement at this point. Everyone knows what's coming. And they're basically just like my Philadelphia Eagles. They're saying, we're going to run the ball up your nose. Stop it.
If Scotus holds on here tonight, it's a big win. They will move to 3-1 if they can hold on. The one loss that the Shamrocks have had this year was to number 5 Pierce, 28-20. It's not the same Blue Jay championship team from a year ago, but this is the 5th-ranked team in Class C1, and Pierce is still very talented. Had an opportunity late in that ball game as a handoff up the middle again. Evan Keene still pushing forward, picks up the first down, and Evan Keene, a gain of nearly 12 yards.
My goodness, what a fake too. I mean, props to our camera crew down there for being able to find that give there. I thought originally Pellin took it and started to roll out to pass, but they've been doing a really good job at selling those fakes.
Thomas Secchi back in for Keene behind Pellin. Also in there, Frank Farringer on the right side. Pellin under center, 7:16 to play. And motion. It's a give to Secchi, and Thomas Secchi just a yard shy of the goal line. Gain of 12, maybe 11 yards for Thomas Secchi.
Oh, just inches away from the goal line. Would have extended his arm. He probably would have had that score. Taking a look at the replay here. Ooh, gets kind of
bent backward there.
Twisted around there, but
right.
you know, it's 1st and goal now, and Columbus is now absolutely in the driver's seat of this game.
Pellin under center, Secchi behind him. Men in motion once more. Secchi the give, and Secchi, he has the touchdown. Thomas Secchi finds his way in with 6:40 to play. Scotus goes up by 3 scores after the fullback carry for number 6 in for 6.
And who more deserving on that particular drive than Secchi? An unbelievable running effort from this Shamrock team.
Kick is up from Farringer. It's good. And Scotus goes up 41-20 over West Point-Beemer. Only 6:40 to play, and it will take a lot, but we're not done yet. Cadets with the football coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Fourth quarter action, and Scotus is pumped up right now. Fourth quarter day brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at lincoln.org. It has been a very good game for the Scotus Shamrocks. They've got a 21-point lead over the West Point-Beemer Cadets, although it's been a pretty competitive ball game throughout 3 quarters anyway. Here's Trevin Weddle with a nice carry. Weddle puts his face mask into a defender before being brought down at about the 35.
My goodness. Weddle running like an absolute beast.
He runs hard.
He runs very, very hard, and that's why with players like that, you can't go high on those big backs because they will lower their shoulder and just absolutely pummel you. Take a look at the replay here as he goes to the near side. He's patient when he runs. He finds his lane. Just wait for it. Bang. Get down. I mean, granted, he made the tackle, but not with a little pain to come with it.
Troyer, the handoff right up the middle. Not much for Juan Lemus, about 2 yards. And this is where you might want to think about trying to throw the football. You've got a guy who can really deliver some solid passes in Connor Troyer. Not a big sense of urgency for West Point-Beemer, and maybe it's because the Cadets just want to run their offense and try to perfect some things down by 3 scores with only 6 minutes left.
And, you know, I mean, you're down 21 points, 5 minutes left, and with the way the clock management on Shamrock side, you know, if you're a betting man, you know, the odds are definitely in Scotus's favor. So, I mean, why not try to open up your offense at this point?
And Miles Nielsen met by Evan Keene. What a tackle for loss.
And that's the thing you love. Even if you're a team that's ahead by a lot, the effort is still there all the way until the final whistle blows and the clock hits 0. I mean, yes, you can relax a little bit more because you have this lead, but at the same time, you also want to keep up the intensity. And that's
5:15 to play.
I was just going to say that's exactly what they're doing.
Looking to throw. Troyer will throw out route. Caught by Weddle at the 40-yard line. Weddle makes a man miss and staying on his feet, picks up the first down. It's a really solid gain of 12 yards for Trevin Weddle on the throw from Connor Troyer.
Good couple of moves, an open field from Weddle.
Big play to pick up the first down. And the Cadets, only 5 minutes to play, down by 3 scores. 2 wide receivers on the far side. It is Braden Doggett and Trevin Weddle. Troyer keeps. Troyer will only get a couple yards up to the 50-yard line, about 4, maybe 3 yards. And that is 3 yards for Connor Troyer on the carry.
And Troyer is one of those players we haven't really talked a whole lot about tonight. He had a couple of really good deep throws. He hasn't had a terrible game. I just think one team's coaching is better than the other, and
he's had a pretty good game today. Has not turned it over. Made some nice throws. Troyer here to throw. Pressure coming in, rolls out to the right, gets a block. Troyer will throw it on his way out of bounds. Was that pass hauled in on the far sideline? It is incomplete.
And Troyer had that spectacular touchdown pass we saw earlier in the game today as he avoided numerous defenders in the backfield before absolutely uncorking a ball down the far side of the field. And he hasn't had the absolute worst day. You know, sometimes it's out of your control, and there's not a whole lot West Point can do in this scenario, but at the same time, they're going to be a fun team to watch down the road.
And flag is down. Stick around for our coach's post-game. Winner of this game, coach, will be interviewed by Andrew. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. Thanks to Sarpy County Tourism. Backs it up, 3rd down and 12 from the 45-yard line. In the shotgun, here's Troyer. Rolls back out to the right. Troyer throws it out, far sideline, caught by Doggett, picks up the first down, a shoulder down. Gain of 17 yards for Braden Doggett.
And you have to admire the fight from this cadet squad. I mean, you know, you're down 21 and you're still going out here slinging first downs, and, you know, you got to play till the very end, and that's one positive I think you can take away if you're West Point-Beemer.
And looking at the schedule for West Point-Beemer, we talked a little bit about Scotus. They have Boone Central next week. Boone Central, the Cardinals are the #1 team in Class C1 right now. They have been dominant all season long. Then after that, 3-0 Ponca, also playing a solid Wayne team, a young Wayne team, and then O'Neill, and Pierce at the very end of the season. So tough teams for the Cadets later in the year. 3:28 to play in the ball game.
And you know, if you're the Cadets, you don't want to hang your heads for too long. Yes, a loss is a loss, and obviously the whole point of the game is getting a win. But at the same time, there's a lot for the Cadets to look forward to. And they've had obvious improvement with the second-year head coach, and this team will be a force to be reckoned with in the coming years.
Nice carry for Juan Lamas, about to the 20-yard line, 11-yard gain.
And you can start to see the Shamrocks starting to go to the bench, bringing in those second-team defensive crews to mop up the rest of the 2 minutes of this game and put things away and give the Shamrocks their third win of the season.
And it would be the Shamrocks' third straight win over the Cadets. Troyer will throw quickly out to Weddle, makes the catch at the 15 inside to the 14. It's a gain of 6. Chucked it right away. Here's that play again. It just was able to get rid of the football.
I think it was a designed option, but just kind of turned into a little shovel pass.
2:20 to play. Under center, Troyer. Man in motion is Nielsen. Fakes the handoff to Lamas. Troyer keeps it. Connor Troyer dicing his way toward the goal line and down just about 2 yards shy of the end zone. It's an 11-yard rush for the QB.
And that's a nice run from Troyer. He found the inside cut, just took one hard step, made a few defenders miss. I thought he was going to be in the end zone, but, you know, he's got some fight in him. He wants this touchdown.
Under center, Troyer. Quarterback keeper, Connor Troyer. Didn't quite get there. Maybe 6 inches shy. Not a bad play there.
And you know what? Why not just run it again? Call it again. I mean, you're only within a couple of yards. And
1:35 to go.
Troyer is very deserving of this score.
And Troyer does get the touchdown. Connor Troyer, quarterback keeper, and gets a touchdown back for West Point-Beemer. Now a 2-score game. So with 1:28, there's not a lot of time left. Miracles could happen. We'll see. It's still going to take a lot for West Point-Beemer, as Haber will line up to kick the PAT.
You know, I really admire your optimism, Kalen.
Haber pops this PAT through, and it's a 14-point game, 41-27. You never know, Andrew. It's football. Things are crazy. Scotus will retain the football, but maybe that onside unit comes out for the Cadets. That's coming up.
Home is more than a place. It is a feeling, a refuge, a comfort, and the home lending team at Madison County Bank knows how important it is to you to have a house that feels like a home. Building, remodeling, buying, or renting, no matter your home situation, stop into Madison County Bank to see how we can help you achieve your goal. Madison County Bank, here to help you grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here is the West Point-Beemer crew, maybe trying an onside kick here, down by 14, a minute and a half to play. They've already tried 2 today, Andrew, and have not gotten either of them. Maybe bound to get this one. We'll see what happens.
Hey, third time's the charm is what they always say, but, you know, like you said, Kalen, before the break, it is football, and one crazy bounce can change the tide of the entire game, and, you know, at this point, for the Cadets, it takes a miracle, and miracles do happen.
Haber right behind the football at the 40-yard line. And he will pooch kick it. It's picked up. And Wemhoff with the football. Luke Wemhoff, he stays on his feet and takes it across the 40. yard line to about the 44 is where he's marked down. Call it the 45.
And just adding an exclamation point to the end of an incredible game for Luke Wemhoff. Keeps the legs churning. Finds himself a nice pickup on the return, and with only a minute 20 left, Shamrocks have the opportunity to finally put this game away.
I believe that will effectively end the ball game. Good effort from West Point-Beemer to try to stay in it, but Scotus, they were the stronger team all night long. Here is Thomas Secchi, and he's still fighting hard. Nice gain of 6. I mean, it's just been a great day on the ground for everyone who's carried the football for the Shamrocks. That's about all you can say. Thomas Secchi spelling Evan Keene. Keene's had a great day. And we had the 3-touchdown hat trick for Luke Wemhoff, 105 yards on the ball game. Couple carries for quarterback Cohen Pellin and Spencer Shotkowski. And now victory formation for the Scotus Shamrocks. And that will take us to the end of our ball game. Maybe one more kneel. Scotus with a big win at home. And only 13 seconds left to play. Your final score: Scotus 41, West Point-Beemer 27. As the Shamrocks advance to 3-1 on the season, it's their 3rd straight win over the Cadets. And it's time to celebrate here in Columbus at Pawnee Park if you are a Shamrock. Make sure you stick around. We have our coach's post-game interview brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism and our player of the game. That is coming up next on News Channel Nebraska.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
John Henry's is now offering electrical service. Our service professionals have been helping with plumbing, heating, and cooling in Lincoln and the surrounding areas for more than 25 years. Now, we're proud to offer the same level of professionalism in our new electrical service. From a whole home rewire to adding new outlets or electric car chargers, John Henry's can be your one-stop shop for all your home's needs. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. Our family serving yours since 1996.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
every day since 1975. Woodhouse.
Building innovation, creating opportunity. That's the Superior way. Superior Industries of Columbus is a key player in forming the world's infrastructure. Their innovative equipment is used to build roads, hospitals, utilities, and other fundamental systems. But it's their culture that encourages bold ideas, creating new opportunities for people like you. And they want you on their team. Visit workatsuperior.com to learn more about opportunities available. Positions that include weekly pay, complete benefits package, on-the-spot bonuses for exceptional work, and a fun working atmosphere. Working with the most advanced equipment and technology you can find. Join the Superior team today.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill-up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
Big time win for Scotus. They get the victory over West Point-Beemer, 41-27. And now let's set it down to Andrew. He's with our coach of the Shamrocks, with Tyler Linder.
I'm down here on the field with head coach Tyler Linder. Coach, I got to be honest with you. You have one of the most disciplined teams I think I've ever seen. And with that, you had the great fullback 1-2 combo punch. Tell me what worked well for your fullbacks in your running game tonight.
You know, I just think, we went out there and we trusted one another. I thought our offensive line really did a good job, especially late in the game, of just leaning on them. And we have the great advantage of having some depth, and that really played a factor tonight. And again, that 1-2 punch with Evan Keene and Thomas Secchi really, it's hard to go away from it when it's being successful. And so we leaned on those guys and the guys up front, and there's a great supporting cast of guys that are blocking downfield and extending plays on the backside of things. So just really proud of the whole team effort tonight.
And Coach, you have a lot of weapons, and not only are they very athletic and capable of making these big plays, but they're also smart. You guys did an excellent job of being able to manage the clock tonight. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're very proud of our guys' intelligence and football IQ. They spend a ton of time watching film, and we challenged our guys after, the St. Paul game to really, invest in watching film and taking a look and being not just watching highlights. We all want to watch our own highlights, but being very critical. We handed out sheets for our guys to scout themselves and talk about the good things, the bad things and the really ugly things. And our film watching, I have an opportunity to spy on our kids and how much film they watch, and we tripled the amount of film that we watched in the last week, even given a short week. And so just proud of the fact that our guys care that much about this program that they're willing to go that extra step.
And Coach, you guys showed consistent dominance out there tonight, but also at the same time, this West Point Beamer team wouldn't go away in the first half. They kept getting lucky break after lucky break, but they would manage to break off these big plays, and it was only within a score at half. So what were you telling your guys at halftime after those big plays?
Just first and foremost, you're exactly right. We knew West Point Beamer had the ability to score points, and they're a proud program, and they get coached really hard, and they're, especially those guys on the field, and they don't have a ton of depth, but the guys that are out there, right, do a fantastic job. And you also have to tip the cap to their scout team, right? You can tell by the way that they're coached and what they do, during the week, that they're well prepared. And so, but again, our guys just did a fantastic job of just lining up, being patient, and communicating, right? I think, when we have to make offensive line calls, when they're kind of shifting and stunning pre-snap, and the halftime adjustments that my coaching staff made on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball really paid dividends, in that fourth quarter.
Well, congratulations on your third win tonight, Coach. Go celebrate.
Hey, I appreciate you guys and all the coverage. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to bring on our player of the game. He was quite the workhorse for the offense, ladies and gentlemen, Luke Wemhoff. Luke, 105 yards, had the hat trick, 3 touchdowns. How does it feel to put up those kinds of numbers, man?
It feels great, but I can't take all the credit. Got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. We had a lot of people come back. Connor Wirtz and Caleb Cameron, they're finally healthy, got their first games in, and, well, they did great. Got to give all the credit to the offensive line.
And Luke, we saw you go down kind of in that first half with that low body injury week. I personally said I thought your night was going to be over by the way you were coming off the sideline, and sure enough, you were back in there carrying the rock. So kind of explain what happened there.
I had the worst cramps of my life, both calves. It was awful, worst pain. But Andrew, our trainer, helped a lot. He got me right, got stretches in, rolled it out, and I was good to go.
Absolutely, and you went right back out on the field and continued to dominate. And I have to ask, especially with your fullbacks and the way that you guys run the ball, what makes your offense work so well?
Again, I just got to give credit to the offensive line. They really stepped up this year. Last year we really struggled with them, but a lot of them stepped up. A lot of new guys, a lot of juniors, and they're just doing great.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight, Luke, and good luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more post-game coverage here at the Columbus Scotus home field. I'm Andrew Pfeiffer.
It's never been easier to get rewarded for using my debit card at Midwest Bank. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and with my rewards checking account, I get rewarded for the simple things. Each time I swipe my debit card getting gas or picking up groceries. With Midwest Bank, it's not about how much money I have in my account. I get rewarded for just using my debit card at all my favorite places. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Tyler Linder, our coach and of the player of the game for the Shamrocks, Luke Wemhoff. He said he had the worst cramps of his life, but he was okay, smiling, and always loves to give his offensive line and the whole team for Scotus some credit as the Shamrocks get the big win over West Point Beamer, 41-27. Time now for our top plays, brought to you by Currency and Elkhorn Valley Bank. Let's show you how our game went down. Beautiful day, not quite into fall yet at Pawnee Park in Columbus, Nebraska. West Point Beamer comes in against Scotus here today. And it's been 2 straight wins for the Shamrocks against the Cadets coming into this football game. Here is the first touchdown on the ball game. It's the first one for Luke Wemhoff. A short carry for 6 yards and a touchdown. Now West Point drives right back on down. It's West Point Beamer. Juan Lamus, who's into the end zone, a 6-yard touchdown. Also, Colton Haber puts the PAT through and gave the Cadets a 7-6 lead early in the first quarter. Now we're down late in the first quarter, 7-6. Looking for a deep throw. Cohen Pellin, he finds Jackson Hang for a deep throw, 60 yards all the way in for the touchdown. Gives Scotus the lead right back, 13-7. Now in the second quarter, 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Here's a handoff. It's Evan Keene, fullback, plunges forward for the score. Scotus goes up 20-7. A minute to have to play in the half. And looking to throw. Connor Troyer reverses, puts his hand into the ground and looks to fire deep downfield. He's got a man, and it is Braden Doggett. Reels it in and takes it to the house. A 70-yard touchdown throw from Connor Troyer to Braden Doggett. And into halftime, It is a one-score game, 20-14. Here's Evan on the big carry for Luke Wemhoff, takes it into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day from 10 yards, 27-14. Then West Point comes right back in. Juan Lamus finds the end zone, 14 yards, grabs that corner. It's a one-score game again, 27-20. Into the middle of the third quarter, here's Luke Wemhoff. Gets a great block and pushes it outside. Wemhoff to the 20, to the 10. His third touchdown of the ball game. A little bit of a late hit there, and Wemhoff did get some cramps, but he was okay as Thomas Setchi puts in the last touchdown of the ball game for the Scotus Shamrocks. 41-27, your final score. Big ground and pound for both teams. Had a couple big plays through the air, but really focused on the run game, and it was led by Luke Wemhoff with 105 yards and 3 touchdowns. A great game tonight. We, of course, thank you for tuning in on News Channel Nebraska for tonight's edition of Thursday Night Football at Pawnee Park in Columbus. For our crew tonight, Danny and Connor in the truck, our incredible camera operators. We also had Andrew Pfeiffer, did a great job tonight. I'm Kalen Devin. Thanks for joining us on News Channel Nebraska. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for some more high school football on NCN.